stop scrolling right now. This is not another random video that appeared on your feed. The director of the universe just pressed pause on your life, and what I am about to reveal will rewrite the entire script of your existence. Heaven's algorithms have been working overtime to position this message directly in front of your eyes at this exact moment, and the angels assigned to your story have been setting up the lighting for this divine revelation since before you woke up this morning. Can you feel it? That subtle electricity in the atmosphere, like the moment right before the director yells action on a movie set. That tingling sensation running down your spine isn't coincidence, it is recognition. Your spirit knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. This video found you because there is an inheritance with your name written on it, and the enemy has been working overtime trying to make sure you never discover what is rightfully yours. You didn't just stumble upon this message. You were guided here by forces you cannot see but have been protecting you your entire life. The simple act of clicking on this video sent shockwaves through the spiritual realm. Hell just went on high alert because you knocked on the right door at the exact right moment, and heaven is about to release what has been held in the throne room with your name engraved on it. Before we go any deeper, I need you to do something that will activate the supernatural in your life right now. Click that like button, not out of habit, not because I asked, but as a public declaration that you recognize the author of your story is speaking directly to you. When you press that button, you are not just engaging with content. You are sending a signal into the spiritual realm that says, I am ready, I am listening, I am positioning myself to receive what belongs to me. Now let me tell you what is really happening behind the scenes of your life. There is an inheritance coming your way, and I am not talking about some vague spiritual concept that sounds nice but never manifests. I am talking about a real, tangible inheritance that heaven has been preparing specifically for you. It has your name written on it by the hand of God Himself, and that is exactly why the enemy has mobilized every weapon in his arsenal against you lately. Have you noticed it? The strange shifts happening around you that don't make logical sense. People who used to walk beside you have quietly pulled away, and you cannot figure out what you did wrong. Others you helped when they had nothing, people you trusted with your heart, now show you nothing but indifference, contempt, even coldness that cuts deeper than any knife. This has hurt you in ways you haven't told anyone about. But I need you to understand this with spiritual maturity, because what is happening isn't about you at all. It is about what is being released over your life. All of this is a consequence of something much greater taking place in dimensions you cannot see with natural eyes. The inheritance heaven is releasing over your life is so massive, so undeniable, so supernatural, that it is disturbing those who live by the flesh. It is stirring up jealousy in hearts that don't understand how heaven operates. They are pulling away because deep in their spirit, they know you are about to break through into a dimension they cannot follow you into. What heaven is releasing is too great to be ignored, too powerful to be hidden, too significant to go unnoticed. And that makes those who no longer belong at your side deeply uncomfortable. Some of them came close only to take advantage of your kindness. Others attached themselves to you thinking you had always be the one asking for help, never the one giving it. Let me give you the behind-the-scenes perspective on what this really means. This is spiritual. This is a sign that the table is already being prepared. And as it is written, it is being set in the presence of your enemies. The very people who thought they had seen the last of you, who wrote you off, who counted you out, are about to watch heaven vindicate you in ways that leave no doubt about who has been directing your story all along. I see you in those morning scenes, sitting on the edge of your bed before the sun comes up, dreading the day ahead because you are exhausted from carrying weight that was never yours to bear. I watch you in the bathroom mirror practicing that smile you will wear like a costume, rehearsing the performance of being okay when everything inside you is screaming for relief. The makeup you apply isn't just covering physical imperfections. It is hiding the evidence of tears cried in secret, the manifestation of stress you cannot share with anyone because they wouldn't understand. Those lunch break moments when you sit in your car finally alone, and the mask comes off for just a few minutes. The way your hands shake when you open your bank account, calculating and recalculating, trying to make impossible math work out somehow. The family dinner scenes where everyone's physically present but emotionally absent, and you are the only one who seems to notice the distance growing between people who used to be close. I see those late-night scrolling sessions where you watch everyone else's highlight reel, and wonder why your story feels like deleted scenes that will never make the final cut. The job interviews where you question if you are even qualified to audition for your own life. The relationships that feel more like acting than authentic connection, because you have learned that showing your real self leads to rejection. But here is what you have been missing while you have been focused on the painful scenes. Heaven has been directing your story from the beginning, and you keep trying to improvise lines that aren't in the script. Every closed door you thought was rejection, that was protection. Every delay you interpreted as denial, that was divine timing. Every person who walked away, that was heaven removing who didn't have the spiritual structure to walk with you into this next chapter. The inheritance that is coming isn't just money, though financial breakthrough is included. It is not just possessions, though provision is part of the package. This inheritance is honor, restoration, inner healing, a new season marked by the unmistakable hand of God. That is why the enemy is using every strategy in his playbook to weaken your faith right now. He is trying to make you think nothing will ever change, that you are alone, that you have been forgotten by the very God who promised to never leave you. But I, your God, am speaking directly to you right now through these words, and I am telling you with authority that you were not forgotten. You were hidden. You were guarded. You were set apart because not everyone could walk with you this far. Not everyone has the spiritual capacity to watch you receive what I promised without envy creeping into their hearts, without jealousy poisoning their words, without them actively trying to sabotage what I am doing in your life. There are people you love, people in your own family, who smile to your face but twist inside whenever you speak of victory. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange atmosphere when you share good news, the subtle shift in energy when you talk about your dreams. Your spirit was unsettled because it detected what your mind tried to rationalize away. And I saw it all. I saw every tear you shed in silence, every prayer you prayed begging for the evil to be removed. I saw when you thought about giving up, when the weight became so heavy you whispered that you couldn't keep fighting. But today, I have raised you up with authority to tell you this. Do not turn back now. The inheritance is yours. It has already left the throne room, and it is on its way to your address. You went through the trial in silence when others would have broadcast their pain for sympathy. You were humiliated and kept quiet when you had every right to defend yourself. You were falsely accused and chose to trust in my justice instead of taking revenge into your own hands. Now it is time for your reward. But before the inheritance is fully revealed, the enemy will try one more time to shake you loose from your faith. He will use familiar voices, people who sound like they care but are actually speaking his assignments. He will try to confuse you with opportunities that look good but would derail you from divine timing. He will stir up fear by reminding you of past failures, trying to convince you that history will repeat itself. But I need you to reject those voices right now. Don't accept the lies. Don't listen to the doubt. Listen to my voice speaking through these words. You are an heir, not because you earned it through perfect behavior, but because of grace. Because even in the deepest pain, you didn't curse my name. Even in public shame, you didn't rebel against my plan. You chose to trust me when trust was the hardest thing you had ever done. You knelt in prayer when you could have walked away from faith entirely. You lifted your hands in worship when you could have shaken your fist at heaven. You blessed those who cursed you when you had every right to retaliate. And because of that, because of your faithfulness in the fire, I have established a decree in your favor. A decree that heaven has already acknowledged. A decree that angels are already carrying out in the supernatural realm. Like any precious inheritance, it attracts opposition. It stirs up envy. It shakes the very foundations of hell because the enemy knows what you are about to step into will inspire countless others to believe again. That is why I am telling you to be vigilant right now. Guard your heart with careful attention. Don't share everything with everyone. Not everyone has the spiritual structure to handle what I am doing in your life. Be discreet, pray in silence, give thanks in secret because there are blessings that must be received with wisdom, not broadcasted prematurely to those who don't have eyes to see or ears to hear what heaven is doing. I am raising up the right people to walk with you into this next season, but I am also removing the wrong ones. And this removal process will hurt. It will cause confusion in your soul, but don't try to stop the removal process. Don't try to hold on to what I am pulling away. It is not rejection. it is protection. It is spiritual cleansing. The inheritance that is coming is so significant that even your home environment will need to be renewed. Your mind will need to be transformed. Your name will be remembered differently. Your story will be completely rewritten from this point forward. If you feel this word burning in your heart right now, if something inside you is screaming, "Yes, this is for me," then make this a prophetic act. Click the like button on this video right now, not out of habit, but as someone declaring to the spiritual realm, "I receive this inheritance. I take possession of what belongs to me. I will not let anyone or anything stop what God has decreed over my life." This gesture is a key. It is a positioning. The enemy has already tried to use people against you, and when that didn't work, he tried sickness. When that didn't break you, he attacked your mind and emotions. He has tried to wear you down through financial pressure, relationship breakdown, and disappointment after disappointment. He has tried to make you believe that nothing will ever work out for you, that you are cursed, that God has forgotten about you. But even with all of that, you are still here, you are still seeking, you are still believing, you are still waiting on the promise. And that is precisely why the inheritance is being released right now, because you persevered when quitting would have been easier. You endured when everyone would have understood if you gave up. You didn't stop pressing forward even when you couldn't see the path ahead. And those who don't stop eventually live to see breakthrough. Today I am telling you with the full authority of heaven behind these words, no one will stop what I have already released over your life. They may conspire in secret meetings. They may rise up with plans to block you. They may try with everything in their power to prevent your elevation. But they will fall. Every weapon formed against you will fail, because whoever touches you touches the apple of my eye, and I protect what belongs to me with jealous intensity. Just as waters of a river flow naturally to nourish the earth, my blessings will flow over your family, bringing success that doesn't come from human effort, abundance that exceeds your ability to contain it, and well-being that touches every area of your life. Trust in the plan I have drawn for each person connected to you. There is no challenge too great for me to handle. There is no difficulty that can shake my promise of provision and care. The inheritance is yours, and it didn't come to destroy you through pride or to burden you with responsibility you cannot handle. It came to lift you up out of the pit you have been in, to restore the dignity that was stripped from you, to heal the wounds that have been bleeding in secret, to clear your name from false accusations, to place you in a position of honor that makes it obvious to everyone that God's hand is on your life. Many people will not understand how you got from where you were to where you are going. They will question how everything changed so quickly, how doors opened that were previously locked, how provision came from sources that didn't exist before. But you will know, you will remember this moment, this day, this word burning in your spirit, because I have been guiding you up to this point, and now no one will pull you away from the path of the miracle that is already in motion. This is not just a material inheritance, though material blessing is included. This carries the weight of my promise, the signature of my throne, the seal of my justice that cannot be overturned by any power. You prayed for provision, and I heard you, but I am giving you more than provision. I am giving you purpose that makes waking up exciting again. You cried out for answers to questions that have tormented you, and I am preparing reconciliation that will heal relationships you thought were dead. Because those who are heirs of heaven don't live off crumbs from someone else's table. They live off miracles that defy natural explanation. They live with doors opening that no human hand unlocked. They live on provision that comes from unexpected sources at exactly the right time. They live with honor they never even asked for, but that my spirit brings because I delight in honoring those who remain faithful, even in the valley of shadows. The enemy is absolutely furious right now because he threw everything at you and couldn't stop you. He used people who looked good on the outside but carried evil intentions in their hearts. He used sweet words designed to break your confidence and make you doubt my promises. He tried to use your past against you, reminding you of every failure, every mistake, every time you fell short. But what he didn't know is that I covered you. I prepared you through the pain. I hid you beneath my wings when the attacks were most intense. You felt weak. Yes, I saw that. You felt like disappearing, like running away from everything and everyone. But you didn't fall. You didn't quit. There were days when you thought everything was lost. when it seemed like the promise died and would never resurrect. But even in those moments you lifted your hands and worshipped me, and it was in that moment, in that silent gesture of faith that cost you everything, that heaven moved on your behalf. This inheritance didn't just appear now out of nowhere. It was written in heaven's books before you were born. It is part of the original plan I designed for your life. It was delayed by interference, by reckless decisions, by soul ties that needed to be broken before you could receive what I had for you. But it was never canceled. The promise was simply waiting for the right time. I didn't allow you to receive it earlier because I knew you weren't ready. I knew there were too many people around you who would benefit from what belongs to you. I knew your heart was still impressed by false praise, by alliances that looked like light but hid darkness underneath. But today you are different. Pain has matured you. Silence has taught you to hear my voice. Rejection has strengthened you. Now you are ready to receive without it destroying you. I saw what they did to you, and I have the evidence recorded in heaven's courts. I saw when they rejected you at the moment you needed support most. I saw when they kept silent when one word from them could have defended you. I saw when they gathered in secret, when they wished for your fall instead of your rise. I saw when they called you a dreamer, a fool, the poor one who always talks about faith but never sees results. But I also saw when you knelt down with tears streaming down your face and said, Lord, if you still have plans for me, don't let me be put to shame. That prayer touched my heart because it was sincere, real, without deception. It was the cry of a child to a father. It was in that moment that I determined your inheritance would be released from the waiting room into fulfillment. Those who conspired against you don't realize they are about to witness your turning point. They don't understand that the more they pursue you with evil intent, the more I lift you up with supernatural favor. Because the glory that is coming upon your life is living proof that I do not fail those who trust me. What I promise, I fulfill. What I begin, I complete. What I speak, I sustain with my power. This inheritance will reach your house and change the atmosphere of your home. It will touch your children and break generational curses. It will restore relationships that seemed lost beyond recovery. It will heal old wounds, the kind that came from words spoken to you in childhood. It will touch areas of your life you no longer even pray about because you accepted they would never change. But I am going deeper than surface-level breakthrough. The inheritance I am releasing is complete, comprehensive, covering every area that needs restoration. It is not a band-aid that temporarily covers the wound. This is a lasting inheritance, an inexhaustible source, a firm promise backed by the Word of God. When my word is fulfilled, everything changes. Atmospheres shift, doors open, provision appears, healing manifests. Now I am asking you to guard this word carefully. Do not share it with just anyone. There are people around you right now who are only waiting for an opportunity to take advantage of your breakthrough. They don't want your victory because they are happy for you. They want access to what your victory can give them. That is why I am tearing off masks right now. I am revealing hearts. I am letting you see with spiritual eyes who truly walks with you. And you need to take your position in this process. You must honor me with your lips, speaking words of faith even when circumstances haven't changed yet. Honor me with your actions, obeying promptings even when they don't make logical sense. Do not play games with your spiritual life anymore. Do not trade your peace for temporary comfort. Do not accept emotional crumbs from people when I am offering you a feast. You were set apart before you were born. You were chosen for such a time as this. You carry something others do not carry. An anointing that makes you a target, but also makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. That is why the weight has been heavier on you than on others. But that is also why the inheritance will be glorious beyond what you can imagine right now. And when it happens, when the breakthrough manifests and everyone can see that God has honored you, many people will try to come close again. The same ones who walked away will suddenly remember your phone number. But this time, you will have discernment. This time, you will not let everyone back in just because they are knocking. I am releasing angels right now with spiritual documents that have your name written on them. I am reactivating promises you thought were buried. I am rebuilding areas the enemy destroyed. I am releasing blessings that were held back by spiritual interference. I am returning the years the locusts ate. I am multiplying what little you have left. I am healing what was wounded in your heart, your mind, your body, your relationships, because it is time. Time for restoration, time for inheritance, time for honor. If you believe this word is for you, then keep honoring me with acts of faith. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, with someone who is also being attacked in the process of their breakthrough, with someone who needs to know they are not alone in this battle. You are not here by coincidence. You were called before time began. You were sealed with my spirit. You were chosen for this exact moment, and your inheritance is already on its way to you. Only a few details remain before delivery, but it is coming, and nothing will be able to stop it from reaching you. Do not doubt what I am doing just because there is still silence in some areas. The greatest spiritual movements happen when the natural world seems completely still. It is in the silence that I write the most powerful chapters of your story. While you sleep, I send my angels to prepare the way. While you pray through tears, I am moving hearts. While you wrestle with anguish, I am raising up intercessors. Because what is being birthed in your life is not small. It is heavy with glory, deep in purpose, lasting in impact. The inheritance I will give you will be an instrument to reach other lives. You will not only be blessed for your own sake, you will become the answer to someone else's prayer. You will become the testimony that restores someone else's faith. That is why the enemy came against you early and came hard. He knows that what is coming upon you will have a ripple effect. He knows your story will heal others, free others, awaken others. That is why he attacked your mind, your emotions, your confidence. But what the enemy doesn't understand is that the more he presses you, the more you pray. And that is why you have already won this battle. I have called you to a time of conquest. But before every conquest, there was always a test. And the test is silence, waiting, misunderstanding. You went through all of it. You questioned, you cried. You wrestled with doubt, but you stayed. You did not abandon your faith. You did not break covenant with heaven. You remained faithful when faithfulness cost you everything. And now the time of favor has come. A time when your harvest will not be proportional to your natural strength. It will be proportional to your obedience, your faithfulness, your willingness to trust me. Do not think it is too late. Do not think you are too old. Do not think you are too tired. Do not think you are too worn out. I make all things new, including you. I renew what pain has aged. I breathe resurrection life into what was withering. I set fire to what looked like ashes. There is still vigor in you. There are still living promises in your spirit. There are still kingdom plans that need your voice, your story, your presence. I did not preserve.